In communication with Southern California, KHJ-TV Public Affairs presents Teen Talk. "15% of Americans are living below the poverty level. The number of malnourished Americans is estimated at between 10 and 20 million. The ghetto economy is tailored to the limitations rather than to the needs of the poor. Poverty is the major cause of malnutrition and the primary cause of hunger and starvation."
Being poor in our country is affecting more and more people. Recently, the papers have been headlining the fact that our unemployment figures have reached an all-time high. How do our young people cope when economic times are so bad? Hi, I'm Joe Feinstein, and today on Teen Talk, we've invited a panel of young people who know what it means to struggle in a country that boasts of milk and honey. Tell me, panel, welcome to Teen Talk, and I'm wondering, what is your definition of being underprivileged? Amy, how do you feel about that?
Teen Talk on being underprivileged. A discussion with host Joe Feinstein and several teenagers on the subject of being economically underprivileged.
Not being able to always feed everybody in the family and everything, and not being able to always have clothes and shoes and things like that. And I don't know, like, it's hard. It's a hard life for your parents mostly because they feel bad about not being able to feed you all the time.
I know that's the way my dad used to feel too when he would be struggling trying to make dollars, and sometimes when the dollars weren't coming in, it was a really hard time for him. What's underprivileged to you, Scott?
It's when you're struggling and like you always want something and you can't get it and you have to like really work for it. And like you can say, well, I want this and I'm gonna get it. You know, like it's out there far and you have to work, you know, to get it, or you just can dream.
It's out there far. What's out there far for you personally?
Well, a better life, you know, living in a better area, having more money, or, you know, knowing that I'll be comfortable, you know, I have security. It's not really being secure when you're underprivileged.
I see. How about for you, Ice? How do you feel about, what's the definition of underprivileged for you?
Well, it's really just struggling very hard to have very little, and then that very little isn't sufficient for you.
Are you feeling the struggle, personally, I mean?
Right now, yes.
Why? What's happened for you?
Well, it's just, I'm trying to work right now, and it's really hard because you have to take everything from everybody, and you work really hard and you barely don't get anything. I
work pretty hard. Let's use the word I around here, gang. Yeah, do you work hard?
Yeah. And, you know, it's, most of the time it isn't fair. You don't get enough hours, you don't get enough pay.
I don't get enough hours and I don't get enough pay. All right, I hear you. Okay, it's hard sometimes to make that, to translate that you into an I is sometimes a really kind of difficult thing. I'm wondering, what is your life like in the sense of how does it differ from the life that's translated on television for the middle class people? Is it the same thing that you see in real life?
Not really.
What happens with you, Robert?
I mean, they say them, you know, middle class family, you know, they've got mostly everything, little kids got bikes. But, you know, it's not that way, you know. It's just, I didn't have a bike for a long time when I was little, you know, and it's like,
I never had a bike when I was little. I had to wait till I was 40 years old till I finally got my Schwinn. Truth. But, absolutely.
You know, and you do have to work for things like, you know, on TV and things like that, they show kids, oh, Dad, I want some money, give me some money. And it's not like that. If you want money, you got to go out and work for it. And I mean, you got to work hard because they expect more from you, you know? And I just...
And what about you, Ari? Do you identify with what Robert's saying now?
Yeah, it's true, because I got a lot of bikes at home, but...
A lot of bikes.
Yeah.
No seats, no pedals, no wheels, but a lot of bikes.
Yeah. And like he says, you know, if you want money, they're just not going to give it to you. You have to work for it.
What are you doing personally?
Oh, well, right now I don't have a job or anything, but I have to keep up, you know, helping my mom clean the house and everything, and so she doesn't come home and have, you know, saying, what's this mess? So I have to help her clean.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one brother. That's
One
it.
brother.
And it's just me.
And it's you, and you're working hard. Jamie, tell us a little bit about you. How does it work for you?
Well, my mother's been out of work for over a year, and we've been struggling very hard. Sometimes our house would go into foreclosure. Sometimes the phone would get cut off. My mother's managed to keep the lights and water going, and sometimes we wouldn't have food when we wake up in the morning, like grits, but there would be no sugar or butter or anything. It's been very hard. I think it's affecting us all mentally also. It's a lot of difficulties in our home. It's hard for us, my two sisters and I, to cope with my mother since she's going through these problems. And she doesn't mean, sometimes she takes, it just builds up to when she has a lot of bills to pay and she knows she doesn't have the money to pay it. It just builds up in her, and she doesn't mean to take it out on us. That's why, we don't complain or anything, not that we're supposed to, but we try to help her out the best we can.
What do you do personally?
I've looked for jobs, but, sometimes when I go to the stores, they always say, well, you have to be 18, all this. And it's very hard because I have very hard classes also, so my homework is piled also. So it's very hard. I would like to get a job to help her, but and I don't have a car. My mother doesn't have any transportation also. Her car is broke. So me and my sister hustle a ride to school and back. So we just do the best we can right now.
Many people in our country believe that wealth is measured by the size of their house or the number of cars in their garage. People tend to forget to look at their family and friends as a source and a wealth of their wealth. And I'm wondering, on the basis of friends and family, panel, do you consider yourself wealthy? Amy, you were just telling me something that's really important. What was it?
It was about how much better I feel about myself, because I do have my family. I have both parents, and for like the last 10 or 15 years, my father's been dying. Slowly, but he's dying. And he's dying from a disease called multiple sclerosis. And he's worked all his time for the school board. He doesn't, he's not underpaid or anything, but he does work for what he has. And he goes to work every morning, whether he can walk or not, a lot of times. And sometimes he falls, but he won't stop, because he knows that he's got a family he has to feed and take care of. So he goes to work.
And he's very ill right now?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was day before yesterday, he was in the kitchen and he fell. And my mom told him, call in, because what happens if something happens at work? And he says, well, I have a responsibility. I have to do this. And he just picked himself up off the floor and went to work.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? The dedication is incredible. What's the situation at your home, Sylvia? Is there something neat going on with you and your parents and the relationship with your parents?
I've always had both parents. They've never separated. Both parents work to get where we are, but we're okay. We're not suffering or anything, because maybe because we have like a small family.
Whose parents are out of work now, or possibly? Yours are, Robert? What happened?
Well, actually, my mom hasn't really worked, but my father, I haven't seen him for, like 2 years, so. And that was our income there, and it was like, I haven't seen him for a while, so we're really kind of pushing. My brother's working, and he's helping paying the rent, and I'm out looking for a job, And we're all kind of trying to get things together, and my sister's helping us, and my brothers. So.
And everybody's kind of chipping in.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe it builds a family unity and a family
Yeah,
structure that some people don't have because everybody's doing his own thing?
I think it really does, because there's so much caring there that everybody keeps trying harder to do it, just to show that we can make it. It's like.
I was just reading about this, and there's a very famous man named Leo Buscaglia, and he's written lots of books. He teaches at USC, and he's a really neat man, and he began his life as an immigrant coming from Italy with lots of brothers and sisters and a family, a very poor family. And he talks about how close the family was and how much they loved each other and they depended on one another to give the unity that they didn't have because they didn't have all the material things that were going on. What's with you? How does it work with you?
Well, my mother, she has a PhD in business administration. She was an administrator of 2 clinics in Pacoima. And what happened is that she had a better job offer, and so she quit the 2 jobs she had to take this one, but what happened, their government money didn't come in, so they never opened, and from that point she's been out of work.
Really? And what has that meant to you in terms of things that you're missing or you feel you may be missing?
Well, when she was working, clothing, we always got new clothing for school. She's always spoiled us. My mother, even though she has 3 girls, she's always spoiled us with mostly anything we wanted, but right now, it makes her feel bad because she can't give us everything we want. For example, clothing. We still wear last year's school clothes. They're not raggedy or anything, and the house things have to be repaired in it, and it's kind of hard for her. So right now she can't do anything about it's very hard.
I hear a certain frustration coming out of some of you. Is that what's going on? Ari, is that frustrating you that there isn't enough money or there isn't enough of whatever?
No, not really, because I've lived with it, really, that I know that I won't be able to get this because of my mom.
Give me a for instance of what you won't be able to get.
Well, I won't be able to get new clothes all the time when I want to. That's the most basic thing.
That makes you very sad.
Oh, not really. Not that
What do you feel? Angry?
No.
What's the feeling?
Sort of left out.
Left out. Left out. How about you? What are you missing? What would you like that you're not getting?
Well, just more things, clothes, or if I can go out more, because right now it's hard. I want to go out and do things, and at home I don't have a job, so I have to do things at home in order to get the money. And then my mom can't give it to me because she doesn't have the money, or there's something else that she's got to spend the money on, and it's not there, and I get frustrated because I want to do it.
Like what, Scott? Give me a for instance so I'll understand.
Well, like, how would you want me to explain?
Well, what's it that you have to do at home?
Well, clean the yard and just keep everything up, and help her whenever she wants and she needs the help, in order to get what I want.
Do you often wish that there was a father there who could take care of that responsibility so that you could get out on your own a little bit?
Yes, because right now I feel like I'm kind of obligated to home, and I want a little more. I want like freedom, but being like what you said, deprived, makes you closer, and you're more obligated to your family than anybody else is, to another family as well.
The wonderful Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Panel, have we reached that place in our life yet where this kind of thing has taken place? Amy, do you think so?
No, not really, because I go to school in San Fernando High with everybody else, and I go there because I wanted to, you know, because my friends go to school there. And, like, it's all right most of the time, but then you get in this one, like, little spot, and it's like white people are treated like they're not wanted around. You know, I don't mind.
That's not the way it is, though,
I
because,
don't think so.
okay, I'm white. I mean, nobody treats me any different than anybody else. I mean,
I'm not being mean, though.
I know, I'm just,
I
I
didn't
just
know he was white.
okay, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not treated any different, and I mean, I have black friends, and I have Mexicans, I have white friends. I mean, and I treat them all the same because it's not so much, you know, hey, you live in that area, you know, you're not you're not Mexican, so you stay over there. You're white, you stay in that little group, and it's not that way, really.
I think mainly the trouble, like what you said, like white people aren't around. I think it's around like the cholos or chola people because they don't like white people because I think what they feel is they feel inferior to the white people because of the way they're raised, and you know, it's just different kinds of people, like what I said, like cholos and cholas, they won't like the white people because they feel lower than they do.
My sister was a chola when she was like about 3 years ago.
What's a chola?
It's
The makeup,
it's a gang leader's girlfriend or something.
Gang
It's a
leader's
private
girlfriend.
Well, not
Okay,
that
or it's a
it's
gang.
not.
It's a little
It's
gang
just
of
a
its
tough,
own.
it's a girl,
Okay.
okay? It's a girl.
Girl
Okay.
in a gang.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
she's trying to be real tough,
And
you know?
okay, my sister was a
Don't worry,
chola
you
for
beat
a
it.
long time, and you know, I was treated differently for a while. You know, I was treated like one of the group, because I wasn't, but I was still treated that way because my sister was.
You were a relation, in other words, a
Yeah,
first cousin.
yeah.
That's the way it goes.
And the reason that I get this idea about that, you know, I'm treated differently is because I have one or two classes, and I'm the only white person in the entire class. And I seem to be like the center of picking, you know? I mean, you know, like everybody dresses the same pretty much, except for, you know, the ones that feel, you know, we're preppies and this, that, and the other. You know? But,
Well.
you know, and then like if they don't like something you're wearing, you know, it always comes down to, well, you're white, you know, you're going to do what you want to do.
Well, at the school where I teach, we've recently received a number of Mexican-American students and black students who come on the bus by choice to come to Grant. And one of the things that I notice is that these young people have a tremendous drive and a tremendous incentive, like I did when I was a child. You know, 40 years ago, I was about 7, 8 years old, and I was really gung-ho about school. And I see a lot of the black kids at our school really striving and really attempting to be something more than their mothers or fathers because they want to succeed and they have a need to succeed and make it, you know, in this world, because this world is not going to give you anything for nothing. You got to work hard. All right, let's change the scene for just a moment, gang. You've just become President of the United States, and now you have the responsibility and the opportunity to make some laws regarding the underprivileged in our society. What do you propose? What do you offer as an idea?
I don't know.
President Scott, what do you propose, President Scott?
Well, that there would be more money for them, like in welfare or you know, in Medi-Cal, or, you know.
The welfare rolls, the Medi-Cal rolls,
Have more money for them, especially for medical use.
for medical use, especially for medical use. Okay, you've become President Iselder. What do you do, President Iselder?
Well, first I would change working conditions and salaries, because, you know, it's really not fair. All these people are poor, but they're trying to find a job and nobody gives them a chance. They find a job and then, you know, it's nothing. They fire them or something, because, like, I don't work much and I need the money.
So
And
take any job.
Okay,
you
well,
get.
you're president. You don't need any more money. You're okay.
I don't mind taking
President Ari, what do you suggest or propose?
Well, I think they're taking too much money from us, you know, like they're putting too many taxes on everything. The taxes just went up again.
So you would change the tax structure around to favor poor people?
Yeah, because they're getting, like, they're paying more. And like they be higher levels, something. They don't pay as much as they do. They have,
Okay, President Weisbeck, what do you propose, Robert?
Well, yeah, taxes too, because the big money makers are really paying more taxes, and it's like the little guys are always getting stepped on. And having to pay more taxes. And like I would try to better the area that, you know, say the underprivileged people live. Okay, say, you know, the like the projects and things like that. They're not really great. I mean, you know, a lot of them are really nice, but then there's the ones that are really bad. And I mean,
Do you think we should bring back things like the CCC, the Conservation Corps, or VISTA, the volunteer group of young people, where young people are you know, get to work and give them work? Yes, President Amy, what, would you do that?
Yeah, because then it keeps the kids out of the streets, you know, the ones, you know, I'll admit it, like on Saturdays or something, we'll go out and we'll just go to find something to do, you know, and it leads you straight back to the same things that your parents are trying to keep you away from.
What are some of the things that you mean?
Drugs, the alcohol, you know, just the partying with friends and stuff, you know. And, you know, like,
that's the answer to the boredom, isn't it? That's the answer
if
to
we
the...
have something else to do,
Yeah.
you know, then we don't need the pot and the drugs and the booze.
you have someone to do it with, right?
Yeah, you got
always there to call, you know, if you like, say you're doing this, right? So you make friends. And if you really need someone to talk to or something, you always got someone you can call up, you know? And I think that's, you know, that's why they need groups like that. They should bring them back.
There are many difficult problems facing underprivileged teens in the Southland. What we've talked about today is only a part of the problem. These young people can benefit from a fund set up by KHJ-TV. Every penny that you donate to the Children's Christmas Fund goes to buy gifts for underprivileged young people. Please send what you can to Post Office Box 1856, Los Angeles, California 90024. Thanks for watching Teen Talk, and panel, you were sensational. This is Joe Feinstein for Teen Talk saying so long for now.